discovery, adventure, having a go, and becoming aware. My work in Papunya was all of those things. It was back in 1981 when my father Bill said to me, "You need to learn about the Aboriginal people living in the centre of your own country." And I thought, I do. So I went to Alikarung to stay with him because he was the housing manager at the Alikarung community, south of Tennant Creek. I decided to leave my city life in Melbourne and get a job in the Northern Territory. And that's how I came to be employed as the Health Service Administrator of Papunya. Papunya is about a 3-hour drive west from Alice Springs. Nowadays, it's famous for Papunya Chula art. But back when I worked there, I didn't even know about that. I worked for the Papunya Aboriginal Health Service. There was an Aboriginal board, an Aboriginal midwife, and Aboriginal health workers. And the only white people in the health service were the 2 doctors and me. It was a very busy health service because there were a lot of sick children and babies, and the health service looked after 600 people in Papunya and then another 160 in Kintul, which was another 250 kilometres west into the desert. What did I learn? I learnt many things in Papunya. But the biggest learning of all for me was that my Anglo-Australian culture was very different to Aboriginal people. What was pretty awful to learn was that the Australian government and the Northern Territory government really didn't respect that culture at all. You know, we now know that country is totally important to Aboriginal people, but back then it really really wasn't known. At Papunya, Aboriginal people from all over were just lumped in together, and then they were expected to assimilate into white culture. It was terrible for them. Why did I leave Papunya? I didn't want to leave Papunya. I wanted to learn the language and I wanted to make local friends, but the government intervened and they closed the health service down. It was devastating for the Aboriginal people who wanted their own Aboriginal health service. But even though Papunya lost their health service, today there are 145 Aboriginal controlled health services and 300 clinics across Australia. Now that is a real good news story. You know, many things have changed since my days in Papunya, but some things haven't. Most Australians don't have Aboriginal people in their circles of friendship, and many Australians don't even know an Aboriginal person. You know, we can all learn more. We can learn about our history and how that past history feeds into the present. But, you know, luckily for us, we can watch some great films by Rachel Perkins or Warwick Thornton, and there are good movies that we can download on YouTube or Netflix. Movies like Rabbit Proof Fence, 10 Canoes, and Charlie's Country. And there are hosts of podcasts, and there's really good books by Aboriginal authors, not to mention my own book, Crossing Cultures, and Anglo-Australian Working in Aboriginal Communities. So it's really easy for us to learn more, and my hope would be that more Australians want to do that.